Yo guys, what is up with it? My name is Sharpless. Today I'm going to be making a tier list of all of the Mother Series party members. I feel like I'm very qualified to talk about the Mother One on cast ensemble, but afterwards I'll also be comparing them with the Mother Two and Mother Three main characters. Um, so the ways I'm going to be rating these characters is by how useful they are in combat, how strong they are, what spells they can learn, if they can learn magic, and how useful those spells are, and how early they join and how long they can stay in the party, which isn't really a factor for Earthbound, but it's a big component of a lot of the party members in Mother One. So the join time and how long they stay in the party will be very relevant. So yeah, let's get started with our main man, Ninten. And yeah, Ninten does very well in a lot of the aspects, a lot of the categories I was just talking about. He's not the most proficient in combat, but he does his job well. His baseball bats he can get are pretty strong. Not as strong as Teddy or Eve, but he's pretty strong. Uh, but more importantly, he's the main character that you start the game with, and he cannot leave the party at all. So he's always going to be in the party 100% of every single playthrough. So that means he's going to end up being a very high level. Another thing I should say is I'll try to like talk about how useful they are in a speedrun setting, and then also talk about how it plays out in a casual setting when you're generally just playing the game without thinking of a super speedrun route. But at the same time, I'll also be comparing it to the speedrun route. And the speedrun route, Ninten is able to beat Geig at level 13 uh, with just a couple of magic spells, which is very, very good. Um, these magic spells I'm referring to are PSI Shield, Quick Up, and some other really useful spells that Ninten can learn is Dimension Warp and Offense Up, Defense Up. And I think he also learns Offense Down, but I think maybe that's Anna. But he just learns all of the most useful support PSI if you're actually doing a glitchless speedrun. That magic will be far more useful. In a speedrun setting, Anna and Teddy are never ever used, so that would bump Lloyd up a little bit. The issue with Lloyd is that he has like D tier combat, like horrible combat. He's got some of the worst weapons, and he's just got some horrible offense in general. What helps him a little bit is his ability to use items, and in a speedrun setting, this is actually used to kill the dragon with a super bomb. So Lloyd is every glitchless speedrun of Mother One is generally going to be killing the dragon using Lloyd to throw a super bomb at it, and that's definitely got some value. In a casual setting, Lloyd gets way brought down because he's just so inferior to all of the other party members. He's probably on par with a flying man in general. But that being said, if you're doing a casual playthrough, then maybe you can load up his inventory with combat items. There's a lot of like flamethrowers, plasma beams, a lot of inventory weapons that Lloyd can use that are exclusive to Lloyd that does provide a lot of value. But overall, I mean, in reality, in the speedrun, he is vital to doing very few select things like setting off the rocket in Duncan's factory and killing the dragon. And in any percent for the Game Boy Advance, Lloyd's inventory is very useful to hold more than 8 items for when we're doing extensive breadcrumb glitch walks. So he has a lot of value, but it's just value from existing as a character. If any of these other characters were recruited in his place, they would be significantly better. Overall, it would be insane. Like another part of his value is how early he joins. He's normally for most playthroughs the first party member that you recruit, but something that will bring him down is that he gets kicked out of the party by Teddy in a lot of playthroughs. A chunk of the time, Lloyd is not in the party because Teddy has taken a spot in LA. This can also be taken one step further to normally you're supposed to be able to lose to on Mount Itoi and get Lloyd back in your party. Lloyd is supposed to save Teddy, but there are a lot of ways with glitches to just beat the game with Teddy in your party and never recruit Lloyd again. Like I've done that in multiple versions of Mother One. So it's really like he's supposed to have value in saving the party with a tank and coming back in the end game, but in reality, you don't really need that. But he that being said, he is still used in the speedruns because he's kind of required. So I think I'll put him in B. But actually, I think he'll sit at the top of C. So the next two are Anna and Teddy. And Anna and Teddy are two characters that are not ever recruited in the Mother 1 speedrun, but casually they have very large value. I think I'll put them both in B tier. Um, they are the first two categories I was talking about is their skill in battle and their ability to use spells. And Teddy is like S tier when it comes to his skill in battle, and Anna is S tier when it comes to her skills with spells relative to all the other party members. Ninten has good spells, but he doesn't learn any actual offensive PSI, and Anna learns all of them. But that being said, Teddy is a very, very high valuable party member. When if you can make it to Alay, the town where you recruit Teddy and recruit him, um, he can't fix the boat up on Itoi. But that being said, he joins at level 18, and he joins with enough HP to just be able to kill Geig. And the way Geig works is that Geig copies what Ninten's speed stat is when you enter Geig's fight. So if you enter Geig's fight with like a level 10 Ninten, and then you have Anna who's level 4 and knows PSI shield, and then you give her all the speed capsules. On the first turn, you can give Anna you can have her use PSI shield on Teddy, and Teddy at base will just have so much more speed than Ninten or Geig because Geig copied Ninten's stats and or Ninten's speed anyways. And so yeah, base Teddy just has more speed, so base Teddy will be able to solo Geig with that PSI shield set up on turn one. You just outspeed and then sing and then medicine, and that's all he needs. So in that regard, he's very valuable. He also gets the katana, and the katana is the strongest offensive weapon in the game. It raises the highest number of offense, so that's really huge. And it's also really easy to get the katana. It's in the first room of Mount Itoi Caves. The ultimate weapon for Anna and Ninten are like far, far deeper into the caves. You have to go through a lot more rooms. But his weapon is on the first room. It's very close. As soon as you get to the town, as long as you have $350, you can recruit Teddy. So there's a lot. He's really a really strong party member at face value. The reason why I think I'm going to put him at the bottom of A and above Anna because Anna is very, very valuable, but she joins at level 1 like Lloyd. Lloyd and Anna both join at level 1, and that's really, really rough when you first get her. Not only does she join at level 1, but you have to go all the way out to you have to go all the way out to Snowman to get her. You have to stop by Reindeer, get the hat, and go to Snowman. Which it's not very out of the way if you know if you know what you're doing. But if it's your first playthrough and you're just going through the game, you'll be going all the way to the bottom right corner of the map, and then there's no melodies there. There's no like nothing relevant to beating the game is in Snowman other than Anna, and Anna's completely optional. Should mention Teddy, Anna, completely optional party members. That's why the speedrun never gets them because they're optional. Um, but going down to Snowman, it's just the most out of the way imaginable. When you're on your en route to getting Teddy, um, it's just like right there, right in the town that the final town you're stopping by before going to Mount Itoi. So it's more on the way. I should mention though, Teddy to recruit Teddy, you must have these three party members all in your party. You can't dance at the live house unless you have three people in your party. So that means you're gonna have to go to Snowman and recruit Anna if you want Teddy in the first place. So I guess that should probably I was gonna like Teddy is so good at base, but I think that because you need Anna, if you could just recruit Teddy as Ninten and Lloyd, Teddy would be such a high value party member. It would be so easy to pick him up and just destroy the game with him. But they put this Anna lock, which means you have to go get Anna, And then if you have a level 1 Anna in your party, you're going to be dealing with that situation, and it's going to take a while for her to get strong. And at that point, Teddy's value is not going to be, it's going to be far diminished. Because if you have a leveled up Anna, like you don't really need Teddy. I mean, you want Teddy. He's really good, but once you have an Anna that hits, I believe level 15, Anna learns PK Freeze Gamma, and then at level 18 or 20 or 20 something, eventually she learns PK Beam Gamma, which is the instant one-shot spell. And when she gets the instant one-shot spell, she can just automatically kill one enemy, which is just such a high, like turn one, which is such a high value compared to just guarding and being a liability and dying. So yeah, she's really good. Next we got Pippy. Pippy is a monster. If Pippy Pippy has identical stats to Teddy. When Pippy grows, she grows at the same rate that Teddy grows. And Teddy has like, because he joined so late, he has like super gross compared to these three. He grows way faster than these three. And then Pippy just has those super gross because Pippy is in such a small amount of the game. She's only recruitable in the graveyard, and in the speedrun, you you pretty much in the Game Boy Advance version, you pretty much as soon as you recruit Pippy, send her away to the mayor. But that being said, Pippy is a very valuable character and a very valuable party member. The time you are with her, she gives you the Franklin badge, which is arguably the most important item in any speedrun of this game. Basically every speedrun needs the Franklin badge to find success. Um, and yeah, like even the runs that solo beat the game as Ninten still use the Franklin badge from Pippy, and they use Pippy to execute the breadcrumb glitch. So Pippy is very required for the Famicom glitch speedruns. She's very important to executing the breadcrumb glitch, so that just makes her more important than Lloyd. Um, Unfortunately, we don't have any ways to like get her out of the like ways that she's supposed to be locked into, if that makes any sense. Like there's no way to free her and like take her to the entire game. But she does show up at the end of the game, kind of. She shows up in the swamp and she heals you, and that's really important for every single glitchless speedrun. If that Pippy heal wasn't there, it would lose a bunch of time. But yeah, she's awesome. She had a removed fight. You were supposed to fight her because she was so scared and she thought we were zombies or something, but then they removed that. But yeah, Pippi's legendary character. Less legendary is the Flying Man. Flying Man, I'm gonna put them in D tier because they're actually so useless. They're very out of the way to get them, and they have so little HP. They die so fast, especially to the enemies that like explode on fire. When you kill them, and there's only 5 of them. Every other character, when they die, you just revive them, and it's fine. But Flying Man, once they die, they have 5 lives. Once they all die, they're done. I should mention in both the Famicom and the English NES version, there's a very easy way to break Flying Men out of Magicant, and you can bring them anywhere. And when you do that, it totally changes their sprite. And like sometimes they have like the cop sprite, sometimes they have like a like hospital nurse sprite. It's really funny. The way you do it is I don't remember the specifics of how you do it, but it involves like resetting, like save and resetting in Magicant, and then like leaving a bread and then loading your save, and then no, that doesn't make sense. But there's a complicated order of saving and breading and using your bread after something, after death warping and getting a magic flying man. That's really interesting. But in reality, they're not very strong. I think they're on par with Earthbound's flying man, but I don't actually, I've never compared the difference between the two. Like, I feel like Earthbound's is tankier, but I really haven't used flying men enough to really know. It is interesting, though. They're very interesting characters. Alright, so now we got Eve. Eve is S tier. Eve would be triple S tier if Eve was in the party the whole time. And Eve is just the best. When you recruit Eve, you you recruit her in this underground base. And then you go up to Mount Etoy, which is normally the most difficult area with these enemies that give so much experience. Um and Eve just one-shots every single one of them. All of your party members can't hit them, but Eve one-shots all of them. So for a long time, the glitched speedruns, before we fully understood RNG manipulation, what the glitched speedruns would do is we would use the breadcrumb glitch to go to Eve, and then recruit Eve, and then we would grind Ninten to a high enough level to kill Eve with Eve. And we would kill off Eve, or we would kill Ninten, which would also kill Eve at the same time. Killing Ninten with Eve is very difficult, but for some reason we were able to do that. Um, and then yeah, then we would death warp, and then we would go straight to beating the final boss. So they would do that in the Famicom version, the All Melodies runs, the really old All Melodies runs before True Any Percent existed. That's what they would do. They would get all the melodies, but they would get Eve first with the breadcrumb glitch, and then when I routed the Game Boy Advance breadcrumb glitch, that's what I did too. Was go straight to Eve. But I did it really silly, and I routed to go to the lake, and then waste like 2 minutes walking to Eve. And then PK Gamma and a couple other people were like, you can just breadcrumb glitch straight to Eve. That would be so much faster. And it is so much faster. But then eventually we understood enough about RNG manipulation to not require grinding for Eve anymore. Which is really sad because Eve is so strong, but she does waste a little bit of time. It is a robot. I don't know why I say she. Probably because Eve's female name. But Eve is very, very important in the glitchless speedruns. Every glitchless speedrun needs Eve because Eve gives you the seventh melody. And the seventh melody is, there's only 8 melodies, and the seventh one's pretty important. So ideally, in every glitchless speedrun, you're using Eve to get Ninten up to level 25. And then as soon as Ninten hits 25, you have Eve explode on the R7 robot. And then, yeah, it's a fun time. So yeah, no glitchless speedrun would be possible without Eve. Same with Ninten, but the only thing bringing Eve down to A tier would be how small the join time is. Eve is only supposed to be in your party for that small chunk of Mount Etoy Peak. However, casually, I found a glitch like 3 years ago that lets you, with the help of Terrific Tracy and Tiger, obviously, we found a glitch that lets you break Eve out of the Mount Etoy peak section and take Eve anywhere. Well, specifically, I found the glitch in the Game Boy Advance version, and the Terrific Tracy. I don't know if Tracy found this glitch in the Famicom version, but they are the ones who most well documented it. The Fleabag glitch. So there are two methods to breaking Eve out of Mount Etoy and bringing Eve anywhere into the game, so that Eve can just one-shot every single enemy in the game. And then you could level up any party member you wanted so stress-free when you did this. So, Tracy and I both have YouTube videos about breaking Eve out of Mount Etoy, but I think that's why Eve is S tier in my opinion. If these glitches weren't known about, Eve would be an A tier like alongside Den 10 because Eve would be so locked to Mount Etoy. But we've found ways to bring Eve anywhere, so you can actually just solo anything with Eve. You could go up to Eve. You could What you could do is go to Eve and then breadcrumb glitch to kill Eve and get Eve again, and then when you take Eve anywhere, you could like get the ghost house before you get Melody 4, or you could kill the dragon with Eve. I've never even thought of that. Wow, that's so crazy. Wait, I want to do a playthrough one day where I kill the dragon with Eve. That would be so awesome. Alright, anyways, so those are the Mother 1 characters. I think this tier list is pretty good. I threw the Flying Man in here. But yeah, if these two had better availability, they'd be up here, or if they were like required for the story. And Lloyd and Pippy both like all of the merits that Lloyd has is literally like Pippy has just as much merits with glitch potential and like Franklin badge. It actually equates to the Duncan's factory glitch potential and everything. Because in reality, Lloyd is pretty required for the glitch to work in the Game Boy Advance version. But So is Pippy, technically, if you think about it. Alright, anyways, so now let's go for the Earthbound characters. So let's go into an Earthbound mindset. I don't play Earthbound nearly as much, but I did play a lot of Boogie recently, and I did do a Mother 1 plus 2 Game Boy Advance marathon in one sitting. And Ninten is like, oops, I'm already saying his name wrong. Ness is very similar to Ninten. He's so the big difference between Mother 2 and Earthbound is that, and Mother 2 and Mother 1, the largest difference across the two games is that these Mother 2 characters, as soon as they join, they are not coming back, or they're not leaving. Like, Paula gets kidnapped. So I guess that's a little bit of an L. There's a section where you have to do Ness and Jeff. But once they join, they're not leaving. They do like a little join section and they're staying in your party. Pooh also does leave. But like not in the same they always come back. When Pooh and Paula leave, they come back. When Pippy leaves, she doesn't come back. When Teddy leaves, he does not come back. When Eve leaves, she blows up and does not come back. And when all five flying men die, they're not coming back. Anna's the only one who like actually stays in your party. Lloyd does come back, but he's gone for a large chunk of the time. Lloyd is gone longer than like Paula is gone and longer. Lloyd is gone longer than Paula and Pooh are gone combined. So basically, all of the Earthbound characters have far, far better join and recruitment status than the Mother One characters. But Jeff's going to fucking C tier because he's horrible. Jeff is so vital. I mean, to be honest, he should be B tier because B for bottle rockets because all he does is press the bottle rocket button, and that would be awesome if bottle rockets. I mean, the bottle rockets are supposed to be so good, but Jeff is so bad at missing them because his stats are horrible, mainly his speed. And all the Earthbound glitchless speedruns, they give Jeff like these items that are like maxing his speed, like plus 40 speed or plus 60 speed, and that's like supposed to increase the amount of bottle rockets that land in multi bottle rockets, but he still sucks. Like he still misses, and you have to like do these like crazy three bottle rocket strats because Jeff is so stupid. Um, and yeah, he's very vital, but I'm not a Jeff fan. I actually like Lloyd a lot more than Jeff. But Jeff is so important to glitchless speedruns. In any percent speedruns, Jeff's not very important, but yeah, you just like do glitches to skip through winter section, but there's nothing crazy. You're just playing as Jeff. Uh, Casually, Jeff is very similar to Lloyd, but I think because of how essential the like legitimately every single boss from the entire second half of an Earthbound speedrun is killed with big bottle rockets or multi bottle rockets. There's like very very little actual spells or anything being done. The only time you're actually doing battle strategies is before you have like is when like big bottle rockets are doing nothing and before you have multi bottle rockets like the Kraken and some other fights. But yeah, if only Jeff was better. If only Jeff had Paula's speed, because Paula has really good speed. Paula has a niche in Earthbound speedruns that is really not very specific. Because she's generally in the party for a long time, like in Boogie Percent, she's useless. She's actually like she like joins at the very end of Boogie Percent, and she's just like a more of a hindrance than anything. But she is very fast, unlike Jeff and unlike Ness. And I don't really know about Pooh, but probably faster than Pooh because I'm pretty sure Paula is by far the fastest character in Earthbound. And why speed matters is because speed directly influences your chance of running away from random encounters. So when you're not like one-shotting bosses with Jeff, you want to have all the speed items on Paula so that you can more likely escape from all the fights that you're randomly encountering. So she's really important. She even when Ness gets the Magic Hand buff, Paula like has better speed than him, which is crazy. And then there's Pooh. I think let's see. Pooh we'll put Pooh above the non PSI users. Pooh above. I don't know. So Pooh is very good because he gets Starstorm. Um I'm thinking about these five right now really hard. That's why I'm like lagging. My brain is lagging. Let me talk about Pooh first. So Pooh joins about halfway through Earthbound, and my one of the big motivations for me playing my first Earthbound playthrough was actually getting to recruit Pooh. I don't know why. I thought Pooh was so fascinating to me. Like I thought his character looks so interesting, and his name is Pooh, and he like learns magic like Paula, but he like doesn't equip like he doesn't have like equips, and the equips he has are like really weird to get, and it's so like a weird side quest to get his attacking stuff to get his like armor. But like he learns Starstorm, which is like the best magic spell in Earthbound for sure. Most damaging. I'm pretty sure it's more damaging than Ness is rocking. I don't know. I don't know the statistics on that at all. But yeah, he just joins really late. And another thing about Pooh is that he doesn't when you like try to give him food items, he like doesn't eat them. He doesn't like heal off of normal healing items because he's from like Dalam or whatever. So he like doesn't know how to eat like Western food. So that's kind of like a hindrance. I think there's like a lot of the food items like doesn't heal Pooh, which is really like stupid. But then there's a like small subset of Dalam food items that does heal him. So like that, all of that's weird. And like he has this like Paula has Prey, which is really good. It's just like a random RNG, like could save the battle, could revive, could just insta kill the enemy. Jeff has Spy, which is useless, totally useless character. Who has Mirror, which is like also useless. I've probably used Mirror in combat so many times, and it's never ever like actually activated. And I like don't. It's supposed to like mirror what the enemy does, but it never works for me. And when it does activate, it literally does nothing. So that's a big useless thing. But who does learn? He learns Freeze and Starstorm, and I don't know the other spell. I think he learns Thunder. So he gets some good magic. I think he learns Magnet. But yeah, so I don't know how to rate like these all of these characters. I guess I could leave them all in B tier because these two do like you do play a significant chunk of the game as Ness before you get Paula. And then you also play the Magicant section as Ness, and you get the Magicant buff, which is a huge value. So I think Ness is a higher tier above all of his three party members. But I don't know, like Jeff is supposed to be the most valuable because of his bottle rockets in the speedrun setting, but like he's so bad at using them. Paula is really like I find more value from Paula because so like it's weird because Jeff is the one using the bottle rockets. His inventory is always full of multi-bottle rockets and full of all this crap. So Paula ends up being more useful with having empty inventory, and you can like use her to put all your junk. And also, since she's the fastest, you want to give Paula the items that you want to be using in battle as soon as possible, like turn one, like the fly honey and like a bunch of other things, like mummy wrap against boss fights. So Paula has a lot of like the more I think about it, the more valuable Paula's speed is relative to like Pooh is so not like you get Pooh and then he leaves to learn Starstorm and then he joins again. So it's just really like he's just like there. I think Pooh is gonna be C tier. I like Pooh a lot. I like Pooh a lot more than these three, but he's so C tier compared to them. He doesn't have the bottle rocket usage. He doesn't have prayer and like outspeeding things. So the question is, how do Jeff and Paula line up against Teddy and Anna? That is the question. Um, I think I like it like this. I think these four are up to the biggest debate. There's no doubt. Like Pippy is actually like obviously Pippy should probably be here, but I like Pippy here because Lloyd is a joke. But yeah, I think I like this so far. This is like the looking like I don't know, Paula versus Anna, like these two could be definitely interchanged. They're very similar. I just think Paula has more value in her game compared to Anna in her game. The same is probably true for Jeff too. Jeff probably has more value in his game than Anna does. But Teddy, like I think Teddy's above all of them because when you have Teddy in your party, you're just actually destroying it. The game is very much a different game when you have Teddy in your party. he's only constrained by like the game's limitations of the story and how little his join time is. Um, so yeah, I can debate these four for hours. I'd love to hear what random comments have to say about how these four line up. But yeah, so let's go to the mother three characters. So we've got Lucas, Duster, Kumatora, and Boney. So, um, Lucas, these four are very they kind of serve like their purpose. Like they have very strong roles and they serve their purpose of doing their roles well. Lucas is identical to Ninten and Ness in the aspect that he learns like all the support spells, he learns all the healing spells early. He's in the party the longest, so he's going to be the highest level. But that's less so the case in Mother 3. Mother 3, you don't even recruit Lucas and you don't start playing as him until chapter 4, which is very like weird. Normally like normally start the game as the striped shirt main character, but Mother 4 you start the game as his dad and then you play as a monkey and then you play as Duster. Weird how you plays Duster in chapter 2. But yeah, once you are playing as the full party, Lucas is by far the most valuable, by far gonna live the most. Generally, you want the Franklin badge on him. He's gonna be healing the most. PK Love does the most damage. I'm pretty sure PK Love is like 5 times better than PK Rockin'. I mean, I don't know for sure, but when I use PK Love, it feels a lot more powerful than PK Rockin'. That's what it feels like. And yeah, he learns all the useful like party buffing spells, offense up and defense up, which is far more valuable um in Mother 3 than it is in Mother 2, and it's like kind of valuable in Mother 1, but not really. Um yeah, Lucas is he gets the sticks and the baseball bat eventually, and he hits hard compared to Kumatora. And I mean, Duster can kick hard, but Lucas is doing the most physical damage generally compared to Boney, Duster, and Kumatora. Kumatora is doing the least physical damage. That being said, Kumatora is she's definitely doing the most spells. Similar to Anna in Mother One, Kumatora's learns basically all of the offensive magic, and the other two characters don't do anything. Duster has the thief tools, which are like in place of magic, but I don't know. Duster's thief tools, I don't like them. They're like I don't know. They don't hit a lot of the time, and you have to know like specific bosses are weak to very specific thief tools, and you just have to be a knower. And if you don't know, you're just wasting turns, and it's just so annoying. Boney, I like Boney a lot more than Duster. Boney fills the role that I was talking about with Paula in Earthbound, where Boney is always the fastest character in Mother 3. Boney's like always gonna be so much faster than the other three characters that Boney is always whenever you have a valuable item that you want to be using in combat turn one, Boney is the person you're putting it in their inventory. So Boney's always the one spamming the rockets. I mean, in Mother 3, there's some boss fights that all four party members are shooting rockets against, and Duster is a big user of rockets too. But Boney is so much faster than all of these characters. If someone takes like 400 damage the last turn and you need someone to be healed ASAP, you're not going to be healing with Kumatora's life up because that is way too slow. You're going to be using a random item with Boney and healing as soon as possible because that heal will go off way faster. And also Kumatora is very good, and like I said, she's the only one with offense spells. So your options are healing with Lucas, healing with Kumatora, or item healing with one of these two. And the fastest, most optimal option is to be item healing with Boney every time, as long as you have the items. Um, Kumatora, you want to be using with for combat. Whenever I play Mother 3, every time Kumatora has a turn, she's attacking with a PSI spell because she doesn't hit for a lot and like she can heal if she needs to with life up, but you want Lucas to be using life up and you want Kumatora to be using thunder, freeze, or fire. And then that being said, she also learns ground and starstorm like Pooh. She learns Starstorm. It's a very, very strong spell. But PK Ground, if you can get her to level 60 and learn PK Ground, which is a very high level, it's an insanely strong spell. So, so powerful. So yeah, Kumatora, I definitely like Kumatora more than Jeff. Like her more than Pooh. Um, but yeah, I think I like Boney more than Kumatora because Boney's just that speed. Like I value Paula and Boney's speed way more than I value like their miscellaneous magic. Because I mean like they're like PK Freeze. Don't get me wrong, PK Freeze is a very very useful spell for all three of these characters. PK Freeze is a very high value. Maybe I should put Teddy lower. But that being said, Teddy is the reason I don't want to put him lower is because of the speed. Like all of these three characters at the top of B tier, at this top half of B tier, are like they're like not necessarily the best party member, but they're the fastest. When they're in the party, they are the fastest. And that is like so valuable to me, especially in a speedrun setting. But like Teddy, you're not going to use in a speedrun setting. But that being said, I made a speedrun using the route I described earlier. It's a Mother 1 all party member speedrun, and it beats the game with base level Teddy because base level Teddy is so fast he can just outspeed Guy every turn and just beat Guy get base. So that's got some merit to it. Honestly, like I don't know. So I kind of want to put these three up here. I don't know. Let's move Lloyd to shit tier, and then I think we'll do this, and then so let's compare the main three to each other: Ninten, Lucas, and Ness. Ninten doesn't learn an offensive spell or like an offensive damaging spell like these two do, but Lucas is PK Love, like I said earlier, is far stronger than PK Rockin, in my opinion. So I think I like Lucas more magic wise. They learn the same amount of like healing. Ninten, I think there's high value. Ninten learned some spells that these two couldn't even dream of. Specifically Dimension Warp and Quick Up. Like these motherfuckers, I mean, I think maybe they can learn Quick Up and they're just useless in their games and Quick Up is just super strong in Mother 1 cuz Ninten doesn't learn many spells. But Dimension Warp for sure. Dimension Warp itself, I almost want to put Ninten in S tier because if these two motherfuckers learned Dimension Warp, they would be hyper S tier. It's not even funny because these guys get so much more max PSI than Ninten does. So if one of them got Dimension Warp and you could insta escape like a fight you know is going to take forever, it would be so massive. I don't think it would be a big deal for Lucas because running away from random encounters in Mother 3 is not that difficult, in my opinion. But there are some times where it takes like 5 turns. And but like it would be every time I play Earthbound, I wish I had Dimension Warp. Ness has to like use Hypnosis or use like paralysis. He has to use some random spell on a specific enemy on a specific weakness just to be able to get the party to run away the second turn. So it's like still 2 turn. It's a 2 turn runaway, guaranteed runaway setup. Ninten just turn one uses Dimension Warp, turn one escape automatically every time. It is so amazing. That's for a speedrun setting. In combat, let's see. I mean they're all very powerful, but I think I like Lucas the most in combat. Like I think Lucas is stronger. He learns better. No, let's talk about physical combat. I think he gets better weapons. Like I'm sure the best weapon that Lucas gets is way better than the best weapon of both of these two. Ness does get the Magic Hand buff, which I've probably said 3 times already, but it is a huge like gain, a huge boost to his character that no one else gets even remotely close. The Magic Hand buff levels him up like 10 levels or something insane when he's already like 60 or 70 levels deep. So the most difficult 10 levels are a very difficult set of levels he gets automatically for free, and it's a really big jump in his PSI, max PSI. It's just a great time once you get that Magic Hand buff. So that's why I can't put him any like lower. I can't lower him any more than he already is. But compared to Lucas, like in battle, I feel like Lucas has so much value. I feel like there's a lot of times I do nothing with Ninten, or like I try to attack. Ninten can also get homesick. I don't think homesickness is in Mother 3 or Mother 1. I'm fairly certain it's not. Ninten is the only one who can get, or Ness. Ness can get homesick, I'm sorry. Ninten does have his own weakness. Ninten's weakness is asthma, and Ninten's weakness is very, very specific. Like, very few enemies can give Ninten asthma. It has to be like an actual automobile type enemy, like a car or a truck. And the only way to cure it is with asthma spray. I don't even know if I don't know if going to a hospital can cure it, but like you're probably not making it to the hospital when you have asthma. What's weird about asthma, or like why asthma is not really a big deal, is because if you get asthma in battle, what happens is like a car will spew exhaust and then it'll say Nintendo got asthma, and then it'll be like Nintendo's fight went down by 40, and then it'll be like Nintendo like five stats go down by like double digit amounts, and then you're just cooked. Like you won't be able to do anything. All you can do is run and hope that you survive, but you're probably gonna die. If you have other party members that are not Lloyd, if you have Anna and Teddy and Ninten gets asthma, it's kind of irrelevant. You're just like, okay, whatever, Ninten's dead. And then you probably just kill the enemy with your other party members. But if you're a Ninten Lloyd party and you're going north of Marysville and you get asthma there, you're cooked. Like you just die. There's no like you're gonna not live that battle. But why it's not a big deal is because you just die, and then when you revive, you're not gonna have asthma again, so it's fine. But when you're in that one battle with asthma, you're so cooked. Like you do like one damage and you miss everything, and you have like no speed. It's so painful. That being said, asthma is still better than homesickness. Homesickness is like the only way to cure it is to talk to the phone, go to the phone and talk to your mom like twice to cure your homesickness. And like that's not that hard to cure. But when you're in the middle of a dungeon, way out in the middle of the nowhere even close to a phone, and Nintendo or Ness randomly gets homesick, random homesick time, you're just never gonna hit anything physically again. Ness turns into like being this really good, awesome party member to turning into like a beta Paula, like no, just like magic spam and can't really do anything. Item and magic spam, really just like a poo. So it's really rough. And then Ness, oh my god, I can't believe how many times I'm mixing up their names. Ness has very high value and is like he has more physical prowess than these three. Even when Pooh gets the Sword of Kings, even when Jeff has a really strong gun, Ness is going to be way stronger. With the strongest bat, he's going to be way stronger. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking this is how, I don't know. I guess the last thing I'll do is rate the Flying Man. I don't know which one is better. I'm gonna put the Mother 1 Flying Man above because you can break the Mother 1 Flying Man out of Magicant. Oh wait, but you can do that in Earthbound too, can't you? I'm pretty sure I've seen methods of stealing the Earthbound Flying Man out of Magicant. So yeah, I think this is how I'm gonna do my list. Ninten is only above these two because of the powers of Dimension Warp. Otherwise, Lucas would be way stronger. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. I've been rambling for 45 minutes, but I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you think anyone should be in a different spot, or if you think my takes are crazy. But yeah, I think this is pretty good. Maybe Duster goes above Pippy, perhaps. Duster and Pooh are very, very fun to compare to. They kind of look similar. Got the same eyebrows. All right, let me know what you think of my character tier list. I think I'm gonna make one on all of them Mother 1 enemies. So that'll be fun to deep dive all the enemies.